I'm Brittany. Welcome to another video. I'm just coming in from walking, trying to get my steps in. um, and oftentimes when I'm walking, sometimes I'll listen to some Christian or gospel music. I'll consume some uplifting content, something that's gonna feed my spirit. And then sometimes I just sit in silence and just let the Lord speak. And I was listening to content, and I really enjoyed it. Um, I was listening to things that feed your spirit. And then the Lord's like, okay, turn that off. Hear from me. So that's what I did. And as I was walking, he was saying that waiting on God's timing, like God, waiting on God's timing will set you up for success, is what he said. And he allowed me to kind of go back on in memory lane, I guess. And he reminded me how he set me up to be where I am today. Recently, I shared with everyone how God called me off my job, and it really was a decision that was extremely hard for me. I know I taught for many years, and I enjoyed aspects of it for sure. I enjoyed making an impact in the lives of the youth, but it took a toll because it was such a stressful job. They just so many layers to that thing, and it causes a lot of stress. It's a very stressful job. And I remember praying back in 2020, and I was like, okay, Lord, I just really would like to be doing something else. And I was going on and pouring out my heart to God, like, I love teaching, but this, that, and I'm just telling him all how I feel and how I really want to leave my job. And he was like, no, not yet. That was 4 years ago. So he gave me the green light 4 years later, but he let me know that I set you up to be able to leave your job. You didn't make this haste decision. And even now I fight against, because it was such a hard decision for me to make, because I was comfortable. Even if things are stressful, even if things are hard, if you can get comfortable in that thing. And I was extremely comfortable. It was no longer challenging to me, really. I could kind of do it with my eyes closed. It was just something, I was used to doing. And I mean, like I said, I enjoyed aspects of it, but there were so many other things that just, it was layered. It was layers to that thing. But for 4 years, he was like, no. But he let me know as I'm walking today, he was like, I had to set you up for success. And during that time when he set me up for success, he had to grow me in my faith. I had to learn to trust him. I had to learn to truly make sure I'm hearing from God, and it's not I'm not allowing other outside influences. Like you of course you want to be under good leadership and teaching that's Bible filled. Absolutely. You want to be, but you need to come to the point in your life where and of course I get great advice from my parents and all of the other people in my life, but you have to come to a place in your life that when it's you and God, you can truly hear from God yourself. And over the 4 years, he developed me in that area, and it started off very little, and that's how I know it was God. He had to prep me to trust him, to know that I can just lean unto him, and I didn't have to look to anybody else. He became my source. We always say that the job is the resource. God can always put resources in your life, but you got to know who your source is. And God became my true source. And I still teach to this day, because I teach at my church. I'm one of the lead teachers at my church, so I still do that, and I'm enjoying that immensely. But it was just time to truly allow God to lead me. So as I'm walking today, and he's telling me, because I know I'm kind of went down a rabbit hole, but I'm getting back to the point. But as I was walking today, and he's telling me that he set me up for success as I was waiting to get the green light, he let me know, remember that time a few years ago you prayed about a couch? Like I was like, yeah, I wanted to like redo my whole living room at the time. And I was in an apartment, and I just really wanted to just really change up my space. And I was just like, Lord, I really want a blue couch. And as I went to like look, and I think this was, I want to say it was like October the 17th. And I just wanted to be able to like have a new fresh space. This was my prayer, just have a new fresh space so I can invite family over around the holidays. They could come over, watch movies, hang out, that kind of thing. And I knew the couch that I had, it was not very comfortable. Of course, I had it for many years, and I just needed, a nice comfy couch. Um so I prayed and I'm like, Lord, and I want a blue couch. And as I was looking and searching and looking, um, I couldn't find a blue couch to save my life, to be honest. One that I liked, that was big enough, that was comfy, that had all the things that I was looking for. I couldn't find it to save my life. And so I went back to the Lord. I'm like, well, maybe I don't have to have a blue couch. Maybe I could just get like a gray couch or a navy couch. And maybe I could just put some colorful, beautiful pillows on it because I love throw pillows. And then that would be okay. So I was telling the Lord, now I asked the Lord for a blue couch. But instead of trusting him that he's going to lead me and allow me to have the blue couch, which was the desire of my heart, I went back and I was like, I kind of wanted to settle. And and the Lord doesn't work like that. No, let me just tell you, the Lord does not work like that. If you put out what you want and you desire and you're trusting him for that, he's going to answer. And needless to say, 2 weeks later, I was able to find the exact couch. Well, actually, it was better than I ever thought or imagined, and that's how God works. When you pray for something, he's always gonna blow your mind. So he and that's just a small little instance, but that was something that had to happen in my life to let me know that okay, I can trust God in that area. I don't need to put limits on God with a color. I mean, you think God can't find you the color that you want? Oh ye of little faith. That was just one little small instant that God used in my life to grow my faith. It also came to this home that I'm in. Like I said, back then I was in an apartment, and I was, you go to sign your lease, and I believe that was in 2022. 2022. He told me as I'm going to sign my lease, I just felt a prompt in my spirit, like, this gonna be the last time you sign your lease. And I'm like, what? I'm like, Lord, I don't have any prospects. Do I need to, I don't know how that's gonna work out, Lord. So this gonna be the last, he's like, this gonna be the last year you sign your lease. So I boldly, because I remember my couch and how he showed up that time for my blue couch. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna boldly trust God. If God is allowing me to boldly make the statement, this gonna be the last time I sign my lease. Okay, I'm gonna claim it too, Lord. So I started saying it throughout the year, and sometimes, to be honest, I started to forget. So I signed my lease in 2022. And of course, you have it was a yearly lease, and I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. I think that was you signed your lease. I signed my lease in September. So September, I just went on with my day-to-day life, and I kind of forgot about it, that I even made that bold statement, because life starts happening. You start living again. So that was September, October, November, December. January, we getting into the new year in 2023, and I'm like, okay, January, February, and around February, I'm like, I think I was looking back in some notes on my journal, and I saw, oh, remember you made that bold claim that this gonna be the last year of you signing your lease. I was like, I haven't really been working towards that. So I started looking up housing classes of how they have the new home ownership classes. So I signed up to take one. So I did that. And I'm like, okay, Lord. And then that was in February, I believe. So February came, and then I went to the class, and it was very, I had lots of information. They had brokers there. They talked about, all the different people you need. Loan officers. They had of course, realtors, just everybody you needed to talk to with becoming a homeowner. So I had all their contact information. I take the information, I learn it, take the class, and I, take their cards and that kind of thing. And then I'm praying over, and I'm like, okay. And then again, life started happening again. I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. So May comes around, and our whole family in 2023, early May, very early May, our whole family, it got shooken up because my sister, which it is older than me, but she was a social worker, and she had a very stressful job as well. And she drove herself to the hospital. I'll never forget. She drove herself to the hospital. She was complaining about not feeling good. They admitted her in the hospital, and it's just her whole life changed and it shifted. She had multiple strokes. I mean, just her whole life shifted. You know, and it that kind of just prompted me, seeing her go through some of those things. That just kind of prompted me to really take a look at myself inwardly, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But so when she got really sick, things started to happen where we had an aunt that left the house to our family, and my sister was living in that house, very well taken care of, paid for. Just have to do the little utilities, but everything else paid for. And she got so sick that she got admitted to the hospital. And that was in May. June comes around, July comes around, she's still in the hospital. And my mom at the time was, her and my dad, they were paying for that home because I was still in my apartment, because my lease, it wasn't up to September. I was still, so they were trying to pay for their household as well as the household that my sister was in. And it became a burden on them. So to make a long story really short, I ended up taking on that house that my parents could no longer take care of. And my sister, her being sick, she couldn't either. So the Lord opened up that door, that even through the midst of the trials and the tribulations of us going through with my sister, and it's it's been over a year now, and she's still, her health is not, she's in a facility now where she's, because she was sick for so long. It's like I said, it's been over a year, but she's getting physical therapy and everything. So she's doing much better, but still not able to live on her own. So like I said, to make a long story really short, I got that house. Now, I did not know at the time, when the Lord had me to boldly claim that this is going to be the last year of me signing my lease. I didn't know that I was going to get the house that my aunt left to the family. But the Lord opened up that door for me, because little by little, he increased my faith, and he allowed me to, as I'm in relationship with him, I'm able to hear him clearer. And it allowed me to trust him, to trust him in that area. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I boldly made that claim because I know he blessed me with my blue couch. And it didn't take him long to bless me with my blue couch, because 2 weeks later, I had it. I was able to, it worked itself out. So I say all of that to say is that God, throughout your life, God will show you how he's setting you up for the next step. That all the things, when they say all things work together for your good, they mean that. And I've seen it in my own life, even with the minute, small things that you might think like, how in the world is this about to help out? I remember in 2020, when I was praying about trying to leave my job, they did an online like an internship where you got where you got a credit on your teaching degree. And I signed up for that, just not knowing what it would lead to. And I still don't know to this day, but the Lord opened up that door. And I know one day he's going to use that in some way for my good. Because, there are no coincidence with God. He uses everything for him to get the glory in your story. Okay. So I just say all of that to say that he sets in God's timing. Now, it's not going to be in your timing and when you want it to happen. That's not how God works. But in God's timing, he will set you up for success. Going into this past last year, okay, like I said, I got into that home. I released my lease, and then I got into that home. And in 2023, in August, the Lord told me, this is going to be your last year teaching. Now, at the time, I'm like, Lord, I'm comfortable here. Teachers don't make the most money, but I've been fine. I have never needed, like I said, I do teach at my church as well, and that is a paid position as well. But I've been good, Lord. And the Lord reminded me, remember 4 years ago, and you prayed and you've been praying, now is the time. So who am I to say no to God? And when I say leaving your career where you're comfortable and you know what to expect, you're in the known, even though it is stressful and so many things come up against you that are out of your control, and you just deal with the day to day, not knowing what's going to happen, but you just trust God, and because you're used to it. But when God called me out of teaching, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna have to trust you again. And I mean, I did the Esther fast. I was praying. I wrote things. I mean, I had to. It was a long process, but I realized that it was the right process to me, because God let me know that he instead of, they always say that he trades your pain for purpose. And that's true, because I just felt such a peace about the decision I was making. And like I said, when God leads you to do something, when you do things on your own and you go out of feelings, you gonna struggle. All right. If I would have got mad 4 years ago and just like, no, Lord, I ain't waiting. I'm just leaving my job because I'm tired of these people. If that was the attitude and that was what I was dealing with, you gonna struggle, because God is not in that. But if you truly trust God's timing, and you know that He's gonna see you through, and you trust in the God that you serve, it's gonna work out. It is gonna work out. And when I say I have the peace that surpasses all understanding, and He's even opening doors in the midst as I'm speaking. I have a meeting today, so I'm just trusting God in this phase of my life, and I challenge you to get to know God for yourself. Of course, consume all the Christian content, get in those rooms that's gonna feed your soul, but get to know your Heavenly Father for yourself. When all the other voices are turned off, make sure your voice is intact with your Heavenly Father. Make sure you have a relationship with Him, that you can just call on Him, that you can hear Him clearly, that you can just lean unto Him and know that you're good. And that is my heart's desire each and every day. I'm praying and I'm trusting God, and I'm asking the Lord to help me to just desire more, to hunger more for Him, to thirst after Him, to get into the Word, and to hear from Him, to hear from God clearly. That is my heart's desire, and I pray that that is your heart's desire too, to get to know your Heavenly Father for yourself, so that you can clearly hear Him as He's advising you in the various phases of your life, in the various areas of your life. He will lead you. He's guiding you, and He is constantly talking to you. It's your job to get into your Word. It's your job to seek His face. I promise you, the Lord loves you, and He is waiting to hear from you. And you be in the spirit of expectation to hear from Him. Have an amazing day. I love you. And like I always say, love on you like only you can love on you. And the only person that can love you more is Jesus Christ Himself. Have an amazing day. Bye.